Now, String.join is sort of the inverse of split, in case you weren't picking up on that. Now, the weird thing about join, in my opinion, this is just Bill's opinion, by the way. I don't know if anybody else out there shares it, so take it with a grain of salt. But I think it's weird that it's a string method and not a list method. Because in my mind, I want to take a list and say, glue this list back together. But instead, what it says is, what do you want to use for the glue? Dot join, and then you give it the list. That feels backwards to me. And in fact, there are other languages that do it the way I described, and that might be part of my issue with it, that I learned those other languages first. But let's take a look at how this would work in practice, picking up on the code that I just had here. So I've got AR words, print AR words, which is this sentence. This is a sentence with many words as an array. So if I wanted to take that and join that back together, what I would do is I would first give it the string character that I want to use. I'm not going to use a space because that's boring. It just puts it right back to this. So I'll use a hyphen. Living on the edge, people. Hyphen dot join, and then AR words. I'll throw that into a variable so we can take a look at it later. Okay, so this is the format. I'm going to give it the glue first as a string, and then I give it the thing that I want to glue together. So if I want to print str new, let's take a look at that and see what it looks like. Okay, just like magic, I have glued the sentence back together with that join. Now, I could do something like, when this is an array, I could sort it. It doesn't really make sense for this application, but if it was a bunch of random words, I could sort it and then rejoin it with something if I wanted to store it as a string or whatever. Yes, question.
Can you use a space as a glue?
Yes. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I just wanted to show you what it looked like, because if I do a space, all it does is turn it back into the sentence that it was before. But yeah, you can use any character or any string as the glue. So whatever makes sense in terms of your program. And just for what it's worth, I'm showing you how something works here using a regular sentence, but that's not usually. Join is not used typically to put a sentence back together. It's used for putting strings back together or for storing things. There's a variety of different reasons, but it's usually not putting a sentence back together.